Oh man. Oh man, let's see if this is even working. It's pretty early in the day. Welcome. If this is working. If not, you can't hear me. And it's not working. Okay, it is streaming. I'm streaming another episode of the thing. Only a few episodes left. Time to wrap it up. Get it done and dusted, as it were. Last night was a AW pay-per-view I watched. Of course. As many other people probably watched. It was fun. It was a fun show. Went very long show. Some of the matches went a lot longer than they needed to go. That said, great show. Kicking off Fistlane here with the Universal Championship match. Champion, of course, Jimmy Uso. Taking on Big E Langston and Braun Strowman in a three-way elimination match. Of course, Braun and Big E, time limit draw in the last episode of Showdown. Went through 10 minutes, which is more than enough in the 2K games usually. Braun Strowman, half the Showdown Tag Team Champs, as you can tell. Big E had Strowman right where he wanted him near the end of that match, but there was some interference from Strowman's tag team partner, Riley's Monster, that saved the man. Let's see, I'm going to be posting the link for the stream in the Discord. Also, last night, which was really cool, any Red Dead Redemption 2 fans probably recognized American Venom, theme for one of the final missions in the game, playing as Hangman Page's entrance theme, which was pretty dope. Of course, if you played Red Dead or you know much about Red Dead, you probably knew that did not bode well for the cowboy. Arguably, spoilers, that things were not going to go his way.
Weighing in at 251 pounds, he is the Raw Universal Champion, Jimmy Uso.
I'm not falling out. So I watched the Tailgate Raw, pretty dope. The way they're doing it. Like I said, shows go too long, but everything on it was good, so I don't know how much I can complain. And it is a bang for your buck of the highest order. First match on the Tailgate was the money match. I forget how much money. $200,000 due, four-way tag team match for the winners of this one. The Bang Bang Gang one, that's Juice and Austin Gunn. Colton's still out, Jay's still out. They beat Not the Acclaimed. They beat Big Bill, Brian Keith, Not the Learning Tree, and they beat the Outrunners with Dalton Castle was on commentary. He didn't say too much. He didn't really have time to say much. It only went about 7 minutes, and there are your win-loss records for the three men in this match. Champion actually has the worst one this season. Champion has PTSD from facing these two men, I would say. He's been squashed by Big E Langston earlier this season, and took quite the beating from Braun Strowman in last, I guess, 2 seasons ago with the Czar of the Ring tournament. I think they had a 30-minute Iron Man match where Braun smoked him until the very end. He squeaked out a W, I think. It's been years because of my streaming schedule, which is why I'm trying to wrap this one up like now, get this footage done and dusted. Fistlane. Like I said, this is a three-way match. As you can tell, 4 dudes in the ring. Our referee, of course, can't forget him. 3 wrestlers. It's an elimination match. That's the big deal. First pin will not win. You need both of your opponents to take the fall. Whether it's pin or submission, I think that's only what you can do in this game. No referee stoppage. Second match on the Tailgate for Full Gear was Boom and Doom Big Boom AJ, QT Marshall teaming up with Big Justice and the Rizzler at ringside. They took on Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. It's RPG Vice. Fun match. Crowd was super into it. So they were in Newark, New Jersey. So obviously, the Italian Stallion, Big Boom AJ, was going to be over. And indeed he was. Crowd loved Big Boom. Some child abuse took place from Trent Beretta, pushing not the Rizzler, Big Justice around. Paul White, the Big Show, the Giant, whatever you want to call him, was on commentary. He smoked Trent Beretta with the big punch to the face, that old WMD, after he messed with the children. Because we know one thing about Paul White is he loves the children. He's out here fighting for the kids. So you can probably guess who won that one. It was QT Marshall, who had a very good night, wrestling good, and Big Boom AJ. They did a combined, like, powerbomb blockbuster? Or was it electric chair blockbuster? Something like that. Double team move to get the pin, if it really matters. QT's the one that, you know, physically pinned the man. Oh, first match, by the way, after the match ended, Austin and Juice grabbed their money. They were running around like madmen. Juice was fornicating. No, Juice was humping on the ground the bag of money. Austin got behind him and simulated slapping his ass. So that was an interesting way to start the show. Hook and Eddie had a very short of the Workhorsemen. It was fun. Long time no see. Yo, back for Devin. You're actually on this show. How's it going, man? My boy. Dude, I haven't streamed in years. Until a couple days ago, I streamed the last episode. I've had this footage stored on my PS4 for years, and I have not streamed it, so that's why I'm doing this. How are you doing? You still wrestling, or are you mostly focusing on your content, or have you something else in your professional life going on? It is good to see you, Mr. Devin Black, Devin DKO, man, went by many names. Rival of Speedies. Talking old back for Devin in the chat right now. I'm talking about AW Full Gear because it was last night. It's what I watched. I'm taking it easy on wrestling. I had a spine injury because of work. Oh no. That's no good. No good physically, but as long as everything's going good mentally, then that's all you can really ask for. Up top, Jimmy Uso looking for the dead cold stunner. Yeah, it's Athena's move, obviously. But oh, face is enough to put away Big E, and we're down to 2. Did you watch any wrestling recently? Have you stopped watching wrestling, or you still watch some? I think you still do, because I believe I've seen you streaming stuff within the last couple months. I forget if it was video game stuff or wrestling stuff or both. Yeah, but I'm focusing on YouTube. Cool. I'm gonna click on the channel. Let's see what this man is up to. Yes, there, okay. 2K streams and some Roblox streams, I see. That's what I thought. Or videos. Not too much streaming, mostly videos. Okay. Well, good to hear from you. You're up to 401 subscribers. Nearly got what I got. Probably a lot less time, too, than it took me to do this. So that is impressive. Indubitably, as Keith Lee would say. Anyway, Hook and Eddie squash the Workhorsemen. But we'd see both of them later in the night on Full Gear. All Sky Team, Mystico, Masquerade Dorada, and Neon took on Doncast Family. It was fun. It was Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero. It was fun stuff going on. Okada didn't show up till late. I don't have time for live stream. That much, no more. Got 2 kids now. That is great to hear, actually. That is good to hear. Hopefully they're good kids. Hopefully they listen to their daddy. It's actually great news. I assume when you make money outside of YouTube as well, earn that money, get that bread. That's what we all gotta do. Ron throwing the Samoan around like a sack of potatoes. Let's see, how many matches do I have on this screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 matches on this stream. I might have to cut down on some entrances maybe. Get through this a little bit quicker. A little bit quicker, like. Oh, kick out by Braun. After this one, I have another. The weekly shows are all going to be in one stream. The Roar, the Showdown, the Venom, all in one stream. That's the next one after this. After that, we will go to the Realm of Hellcrow, which is another one. So 1, 2, and the night 1 and night 2 of Ramblemania. Which, as far as streaming, because it's so long, I might split into 4 streams. Hopefully, just 2 streams. They are and my job. Keep me busy. Like a Harley Davidson now. That's nice. That's cool. I forget where you lived around. Were you around Chicago or around New York, New Jersey? I could be wrong, but I feel it was one of those two. I might be thinking of someone else that was in my chat. Harley Davidson's good to hear. And if you don't mind, yeah, more office stuff or more mechanical stuff? I guess both are cool. This doesn't matter too much. Jimmy lifting up Braun, tugging on his beard. On his big old beard. Oh, anyway, so Sky Team versus Don Callis fan, York, New York. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's where I used to live until a couple of years back. I'm in Texas now. If you didn't know, I made the move. Good move. I don't miss shoved in snow. Not one iota. Oh yeah, it was fun. You know, Okada came in late. He was slacking. They injured Mechanic. It's good to be good with your hands. Helps in your personal life too. Less likely to need to rely on paying someone else to work up there. What was I going to say? Okada showed up late. He was dressed in full gear. They show him drive into the arena, just in his wrestling gear, in his wrestling trunks. He picks up his robe, puts it on, gets a full entrance, and that the entrance happens at the start of the pay-per-view. It's pretty funny. They did the thing like they did last pay-per-view where the tailgate match is already in progress at the beginning of the pay-per-view. I wish they didn't do that in a row, but it was different here because how they did it. To avoid the faces having a 3-on-2 advantage, they work injured Mystico early into the match. Shows a 2-on-2. Okada showed up 3-on-2. Mystico makes his heroic return, comes back 3-on-3, and he is able to tap out Echicero to get the win for the team. Before that, though, there was fun stuff. Takeshita not working with Okada. It was mostly Okada being the salty boy. Echicero begging them to work together, but did not. And that's my review of the tailgate. Did you need to see it? Probably not. But I thought Juice was really fun, and I thought the main event, quote-unquote main event, the Okada match was really fun. Oh, kick out by Braun. Braun! Like the paper towels. Oh, and Big Boom was over too. I guess it was pretty good. Yeah, there's no reason not to go watch it. You just skip through it. So, like I did mention, I already covered the first match of the pay-per-view basically, because it bled into the show from the tailgate. Looks technically the real opener of the pay-per-view was Pac versus our boy Darby Allin, which was an awesome match. Well, guess who's back? User DQ6HS4RY6Z is back. How's it going, dude? I explained this I streamed a few days ago, actually, and I explained it to the guys there. But in case you're curious why I even bothered streaming this, I have, so a couple months ago, my PlayStation 5 exploded. Yeah, right? Coming down to the ring, user DQ6HS4RY6Z, or Z. If you're from a communist country, you can call it Z.
Here is your winner, and still.
Oh yeah, my PS5 exploded. There was a thunderstorm, and I did not. My surge protector didn't work, so it like fried my PS5. Haven't been able to play it. A couple weeks ago, I started using my PS4 a little bit. I don't really play games too much, but I decided to do it because I know some of my friends still do. And I had a bunch of footage saved on my PS4 for these streams that I just never used. It was that combined with, I was talking to the guy who used to be Vince Russo in the chat, and he was talking about streaming. I actually went on a couple weeks ago and did a commentary on one of his streams for one of his video game wrestling shows. Combined with, actually, Mr. Hyphen, who we see in the chat as user DQ. I got a little notification from YouTube that someone commented on one of my videos. It's like, oh man, it was like a perfect storm of stuff that brought RUW back into my mind. And I figure, why not finish the story, which was the name of the last stream I did, finish the story. Just use up the rest of the content I got, and we can be done with RUW. Happy. 6 seasons wrapped up. So close to the end of this season, just never, posted it. Still a better wrestling show than Raw. Probably, I've heard some bad things about Raw. I'm going to be honest, I don't know the difference between Raw and SmackDown too much right now. I do know one of them people say is really bad, but I forget which one. And I know people aren't happy that SmackDown is now 3 hours. I know people are not happy at all about that. I do have a friend. Actually, I guess I have 2 now because I started talking to Mr. Vince Russo from the chat, so he updates me too. I call them my WWE guys. They're the ones that update me on what's happening. Oh yeah, I don't know. I hardly watch anything, but I watched the John Cena story. I heard that was not good. I heard the John Cena thing was pretty bad. I did hear about that. I heard he was a bad guy for no reason, and then they gave up on it because it wasn't working. But I also heard that he had a really good match with Cody and a really good match with AJ Styles. I have not seen either one, but I heard those are both amazing, great matches, and I need to go watch them. But I also heard that I should not watch the TV because the actual storyline, the John Cena heel story, was very, very not good. So, wrestling is wrestling, the good and the bad. And even if the booker's bad, the wrestlers can go out there and have a great match. And I guess AJ and Cena and Cody were able to do it. I thought it was alright to me. People just hyped it up too much in their head. Yeah, because it's something they didn't do for a long... I guess Vince was right, maybe. Either Vince was right and it wasn't going to work, or Triple H just stinks, or it wasn't that bad and they're overreacting.
Introducing the champion.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. Don't really have a desire to. From an outsider, though, it really did sound like the heel turned, and then they didn't know what they wanted to do with it, so they just pretended it didn't happen and he was a good guy again. But that is an unfair review from me not having seen it, so... That's just from me. That's what I've been told from my boy Justin that watches and Vince Russo from the chat. They both kind of explained what happened. As long as Walter's making a lot of money, I'm happy. What's his name? Gunther? Yeah, Gunther. As long as he's making a lot of money, I'm happy. Keep up the good work. This is me wrestling Kenta, by the way. The Cruiserweight Championship on the line. I'm guessing Devin went back to work. We had Devin Black in the chat earlier. You can probably see his comments. Dude's got 2 kids now. Him. I don't. I'm not here making that money, but not making those kids like Devin. He's popping them out. And making money on top of it. Earning that bread, as we said. First match of the show that a 3-way went 11 minutes 40 seconds. Interesting stat. I heard, so Vince Russo from the chat played a clip for me of Dominic Mysterio. And I had never heard Dominic Mysterio talk before. So this was the first time I'd ever heard him talk. It's so funny. He just sounds like Sammy Guevara. Like, if I wasn't looking at it, I would have assumed Sammy Guevara was the one talking. It was so funny. It's Sammy Guevara, but with long hair and a lot of bad tattoos and not a good wrestler. But way more over. I mean, I guess that's not really that impressive because he's a Nepo baby, but still, way more over. WWE is the Nepo baby company. So, you gotta deal with it. My chair just squeaked. It sounded like a smoke detector in a black person's house. I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. I love black people. I'm not racist. I love Kanye West. Makes great music, especially as of late. Kenta with his really great hair. Kenta had a match. He was the GHC Noah champion again recently. I don't know if he's not with New Japan anymore or if they just let him do it, but I heard the match where he lost the title was very good. Haven't gone and seen it. There's too much wrestling. I'm not watching it. I watch the AEWs, and sometimes I'll put New Japan and Ring of Honor on in the background while I'm doing like the dishes or laundry and chores around the house. But ain't nobody got time for all this wrestling. Ain't nobody got time for this wrestling. I heard John Cena's doing they're doing a tournament for the last opponent for John Cena. I heard about that. So that's pretty funny. That's an odd one. I guess it is obviously an honor to be that guy. It's just strange. I think Triple H loves tournaments almost as much as Tony Khan. There's a lot of similarities actually in the way they book. Just one likes they're similar except for Triple H is more into the leather fetish stuff and the Nepo baby stuff. As far as last night on Full Gear, what was the second match? I don't even remember. That Pac Darby Allin match was so good. Number 2 fan, holy shit. Yeah, so these are new, right? Like, I don't remember this being a thing when I streamed. So when I streamed a few days ago, a bunch of people joined, probably like four or five people. Like Anthony Brassel was there, Vince was there, Dean Stevens was there, someone else was, I forget. And I'm guessing it keeps track of who has left the most comments. And they become number 1, and second most comments, you get number 2. Yeah, also hyphen, gimmick, impossible with YouTube's censoring. Yeah, it's definitely hard. Luckily, he was less focused on impregnating as of late, and his gimmick changed to deportation. You might not remember. I would be shocked if you did remember. That would be more surprising. But he was Hyphen's gimmick became deporting all the Japanese wrestlers, actually. It read deportation on his gear instead of impregnation. So that did help it a little bit. He is still the impregnator. And we had Dean Stevens on the last stream. He showed up in the chat. His character is the top shagger. So there is a lot of fornication-based gimmickry in RUW. Big old backflip into the single leg drop kick from Kenta. I never know when I should just be doing commentary. I didn't do like any on the last one. It was more talking to the people in the chat because it's been so long. Going for the go to bed. And moi. I'm not kicking out of that anymore. Deport syphilis. That's not very nice. I mean, if you mean literal, actual syphilis, it is very nice. If you mean me, that's not nice. You can't deport me. You're not even in the same country. You can't deport me. Why does it matter to you? If I get deported from the U.S., I'm going over there, and I'm going to find where you live, and I'm going to blare the trombone as loud as I can every morning outside your home, your loft, your apartment, whatever you have, your Airbnb, your hotel, your RV, your homeless tent. I'll find it. I will find you. That video you commented on, by the way, was the lie detector test, which was quite fun making that. That was fun making it. It's fun listening to it back. The original segment's really fun. But I did notice this in my editing when I listen. Obviously, I played it on the stream and I like muted, so the chat could listen to it without me talking over it. And I did hear it myself. I did forget to change one of the McMahons to a hyphen. There was one Mr. McMahon that snuck through the cracks, so it was not perfect. Oh, I got insulation in my cardboard box. I'll be all right. You're going back to Canada, buddy. I'd rather not go back to Canada. Been one time to French Quebec. They're not very nice people. They're not very nice. Everyone says Canadians are nice. It's not true. Horrible, evil, vile people. You ever heard of Chris Benoit? Would you say Chris Benoit is a nice guy? I wouldn't. By the way, here is the Holy Order. Chris on the right, Devin Black in the middle, and on the left, Crusader Craig. Devin, of course, showed up earlier in the chat. He's working at Harley Davidson now, so good stuff. McMahon invading RUW confirmed. Oh, just you wait. Just you wait, buddy. Which one? Shane McMahon? Hunter McMahon? Vincent McMahon? Stefuni? Oh, here they are, the Federation. We're together from the RWF season. Okay. The Federation. Chris Benoit is my fave Canadian. He's up there. He's up there. Big Chris Benoit guy. Honestly, if I was Tony Khan, I'd bring in Benoit. I don't know what he's up to these days. But he's probably still in good shape. He used to care about it. Well, I just realized I was like with a minute delay. Oh, you're good. I noticed that in the last stream too. I did. It seemed like it knocked everything back a peg. Don't worry about it too much. Of course, this is a #1 contendership match for the Trios Championships, currently held by the Death Triangle, Pac, Penta, and Phoenix. Will it be the Federation, or will it be WWE Order? Rogan's streaming for so long, I grew from teenager to boomer. Dude, that's how I'm feeling. I feel like a tumor, a toomber. I feel like dust. Like a small breeze, and I'll blow away in the wind from how old I am. There's win-loss records for both teams. Obviously, the Federation has had different combinations of team members, so their numbers are a little different per member. Canadian Dust. No, not Canadian Dust. I will not be made to go back to Canada. Never again. I don't really have a desire to go to Canada or Mexico. Been to both once. No desire to go back. I don't have too much of a desire to leave the States, honestly. People always make fun of America for not being well traveled, but they don't realize how big America is. And you can probably get most of your travel fix just inside the States. And some people get more out of it. It's not like Europe where I can like get on my bike and drive through 3 countries. You know what I mean? Get on the bike, drive through. Oh, here I am in Liechtenstein. Oh, no, I'm in Belgium. No, it's not like that. It's a little harder to do that. A little bit harder. Canadian roads. Canadian roads. He has the maple leaf as tattoo instead of the horrific neck tattoo he has. What if we get through Liechtenstein on a bike ride? Did I say Liechtenstein? I thought I said Luxembourg. Liechtenstein on a bike? I don't know it, but I assume it would be harder. I assume there's a lot of elevation. You're like biking uphill and stuff a lot if you go to Liechtenstein. I've never been. I haven't seen too much of it, so I'm not sure. But Liechtenstein seems like it would be kind of a pain to bike through. That's just my assumption. I see Liechtenstein on the map. I see it's next to a bunch of mountains. I probably don't want to be biking through there. Also, I don't know why you exist. It should... next RUW show in Liechtenstein. Make it happen. We'll get the next... Next time I don't have a... Next time I have a stream where it doesn't say the location name at the beginning, I can make it Liechtenstein. And all 359 people that live in the country will be in the crowd. Also, I never know whether I'm supposed to call it Liechtenstein. I just go Liechtenstein. It's just easier. I would assume it's Liechtenstein, but I don't know. I'm American. I don't know. I can't even read. Of course, that is a reference to right now. There's a crisis, a literacy crisis in the United States of America. Not very surprising. That's what happens when you get rid of learning based on phonics. Good job, teachers. I wonder why no one trusts teachers. They sold out children, now they can't read. Aces, deuces. And people complain about the Department of Education going on. They got us into this mess. Liechtenstein Battle Royale won. Last one standing becomes king. They don't have a king. There's no way they're a king. They got a prince? Do they have a king? I know Spain still has a king. The United Kingdom, obviously, it's in the name. Still got a king. Still a Spanish king. There's no Italian king that is claimants. Prince or Duke. Yeah, I would assume it's a prince. The span of a king or king? I think it's king. He doesn't do anything. And he's even less famous than the English one. He's also technically the king of Canada, which is funny. Nothing on King Washington. You know, I was excited last night. I don't know if you ever played Red Dead Redemption 2. Hangman Adam Page, his entrance music, he came out to music from Red Dead Redemption. He came out to American Venom from Red Dead Redemption 2. Which, as a man who used to be a big video game playing nerd, I have actually won 100% of that game. RDR2. I thought it was very cool. Also, I know what mission that music is from. I know how that game ends. So, it kind of spoiled the match for me. I knew it was going to happen. It's not a happy ending. Okay, I don't know how this YouTube crown thing works, because you have a lot more comments than Devin did, I think. And it still only gives you number 2. Probably because you're not American. And YouTube is kind of racist against you non-Americans. Communist countries. Craig with a powerbomb to Dolph Ziggler, who I think just showed up in a WWE again. I don't know if he's there for good, or if it was like a one-time thing. I couldn't tell you. I do know this though. He just got his bum pinned by Crusader Craig. His little Bahukas. Whoa. And a big win for these dudes. The holy dudes with attitudes. Next match though, Kairi Sane. Of course, former WWE Women's Champion. She's going to be taking on the current Interim Women's Champion, Miss Megan Blade. The winner of this match will be trying to unify and undisputed Women's Champion. They'll be taking on Ariane Sophie Jones at Rumble Mania. The true Women's Champion, because the winner of this will only be the Interim Champion. Sorry to say. I wish I was a pirate. I wish I starved on a boat and died alone by myself on a stranded island at sea. I wish I was surrounded by only dudes on a boat. That must be the life. The life of a pirate is the life for me. Okay, no more chat to read. So I will just continue my little review of last night's AEW pay-per-view. Oh! It was the four-way women's match. Four-way tag team women's match. Where you get to choose a stiff in the semifinal. Kind of weird, but they wanted to get more women on the show because otherwise people will complain. Where are the women at? I need more women matches. I need to see the women matches. So we got that. Didn't need it. Fun match though. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa won the match. The other teams in the match were Willow and Harley. Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and Marina and Megan Bang. I forget who Tony Storm pinned. I think it might have been Harley Cameron. Which I wouldn't have done. I would pin someone with no value like Sky Blue. That's not nice. That's not a very nice thing to say. So after that match, by the way, our opener tonight, that three-way, went 11 minutes and 40 seconds. The cruiserweight match between me and Kenta went about 6 minutes 40 seconds. The trios match went 6 minutes and 17 seconds. Let's find out how long these two can shake it and bake it. Anyway, after that women's four-way match, I think was probably the best match of the show. It was the FTR Brodito match. It was kind of sad to see Brodito come up short and lose the tag team to FTR. It was kind of sad, I will say. I didn't want to see it happen, but I guess they gotta get cooking whatever they're going to be doing with FTR. And I guess it does make sense to an extent because there's so many face tag teams that FTR could go against right now. There's a possible return private party maybe in the future. There's the Young Bucks, there's Jurassic Express. There's plenty of good face teams for them to go against. So, makes sense. They could run back Brodito against FTR again. I don't think they will. And obviously there is the possibility of a future match with Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian. I don't know, Adam and Cage, however they want to say it. There are your win-loss records for the two women, the former women's champion and the current interim champion here at Fistlane. But yeah, it was a great match between Brodito and FTR. Stokely is great. Everyone hated Stokely. FTR, so much better as bad guys, as are the Young Bucks, but we'll get to that. Crossface here. We were just talking about Benoit in the chat. Now here's a crossface. There were a lot of believable near falls in the match. There was a moment where Brody King took out Stokely, and then Stokely was like dead for the next 10 minutes. He didn't hit Stokely head on, but he did kind of hit him a little bit. It was enough to take out Stokely. It ended with the Shatter Machine on Bandito after Bandito kicked out of everything under the sun before that, as they should have him do. He's Bandito, he's Ring of Honor World Champion. He's a crazy good wrestler. He did a bunch of fun spots in the match. Brody was over. Had plenty of good spots with him beating the crap out of both members of FTR. FTR, as usual, masters the game. Psychology, always in the right spot, right time, knew what to do. Awesome match. Kind of sad Brody lost, like I said. But I'm sure this one is going somewhere. I hope it always goes somewhere. I just don't have a lot of faith everything always goes somewhere. After this was the Ricochet winning the national title match. I do not like having another championship. We'll say that. Okada should have just been forced to vacate the international title or something. He should have given it up. And it should have been Ricochet as the international champion or something. I don't know. Defending a three-way, Ricochet wins, doesn't pin Okada. If you really have to. Separately from the unified. Like, ununified, Continental Championship. He's about to defend it in the tournament anyway. But, oh well. On the bright side, we got a really good match out of it. Ricochet had a really good performance while in the match. The title itself looks really good. So that's a plus. I really like the look of the title. It's old school as hell. So there are pluses. There are minuses though. It was weird how they built the match and advertised the match around. You find that it's Shelton and Bobby Lashley go one-on-one, and they barely do. And then they get beat up by GOA, and then they're gone for half the match. Also, the match was really, really good up until around the time Mark Davis is in there, and it's not bad because of Mark Davis, by the way. Mark Davis did really good in this match. But after Mark Davis came in the match, the formula was really boring. It became, guy comes in, goes wild on everyone. Guy comes in, goes wild on everyone. I think Mark Davis is the first one where that became the pattern for the rest of the entire match, where that's all it was. Until the finish, obviously. And it was very obvious Ricochet was going to be involved in the finish. I thought winning, but very obvious he would at least be involved in the finish because he kept getting in there non-stop to get beaten up. He was like the main character of the match. He was always there doing something, mostly getting beaten up. Match started with Bobby and Shelton. They did some wrestling stuff, some grappling. Didn't go very long. Wasn't too exciting. Before Ricochet came out on the mic and talked some smack. And that's where the chain started. Ricochet gets beat up. Someone comes in. A lot of the Death Riders were in this one. It was a fun match. It was a fun match. It was good. You got Danny, Wheeler, both in it. Claudio in it. It was a machine. Claudio was a killer on that, which was pretty fun. Mark Davis looked really good. Mark and Claudio went to town on Shelton and Bobby. Of course, that once they got back up, Shelton and Bobby got taken out by GOA. Bishop, Quan, and Toleona, the Demand, whatever you want to call them, Ricochet's goons. So that's why they were out half the match. But when they came back, that was the shtick they did. They did Mark Davis and Claudio versus Bobby and Benjamin. I think the Hurt Syndicate came on top of that one, but not for long. There was some schmozzing. Kevin Knight looked good, but fell prey to a speared gun from Ricochet, and that's how Ricochet won the title. There were some, other people in there. Orange Cassidy was another notable man in the match. Mike Bailey was there. There's probably other people that I'm forgetting to mention. But those are all the important ones. Roddy was in, did pretty good. But Roddy's tag team partner wrestled after this against John Moxley in a no-holds-barred match. There were 3 blood matches on this show. Probably too many. And 2 of them are back-to-back. But luckily the 2 back-to-back ones were different kind of blood matches. Like the second match, Briscoe Fletcher was more of a stuntman shtick with the hardcore and the blood. This first one was kind of sickening. Deep cuts, profuse blood from Kyle O'Reilly and John Moxley by way of fork. It was a forking in this match. And they when they had to get that blood flowing, they didn't hold back. They were stabbing hard. It was a good match. It was actually really good, but the crowd was less into the submissions than I thought they would be. Recently on the show, every time Moxley in the submission, crowd was crazy. It didn't happen in this match, despite it being Kyle O'Reilly. It's like the crowd only trusted the ankle lock. Like Kyle would get other submissions in, and the crowd wouldn't go too crazy, other than the guillotine at the chain. But the crowd didn't care about anything other than the ankle lock. It was either the ankle lock or the one time with the guillotine at the chain. Every other submission Kyle got him in, the crowd didn't go too nuts. That, not to say the crowd was dead for this match, definitely weren't. But they were more reacting to the strikes and the gratuity, the grotesque nature of the match with the forking and all that. The forking. Bloody match. Very fun. John Moxley tapped out again. Which I really like what they're doing with Moxley. Some people think it's leading to a face turn. It could. I'm not sure what they're doing. I am a little confused because right now it feels like it almost feels like John Moxley has to be world champion and a heel when Ospreay returns, but I don't think either of those things will be true. I don't think Moxley's going to be the champion, and he might not even be a heel. So it's very interesting because he's the one that, as a heel, took out Ospreay. You would think that would be the thing for him to come back and overcome. And it doesn't seem like that's the case. He still could come back and beat Moxley in a non-title one-on-one, and that's where he earns his title shot. That could always be the case.
Raw Women's Champion,
The interim women's champion retains here at Fistlane in 7 minutes and 34 seconds against Kairi Sane. As we get into our next match. RUW Tag Team titles on the line in a three-way match. Cool. I gotta crack open a cold one for the boys before we talk about. I guess I don't have too much to say about the Kyle Moxley run, other than it was really good. Moxley, I don't know if it was well rehearsed or he just did some research, but the counters were good, the graps were good. It was an exciting match. Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher afterwards. Here's a cold one I'm cracking for the boys. Oh my, that is good. Cherry limeade soda water, as it were. You know, actually, I'll describe this. So the champions right now, the RUW Tag Team Champions, are CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. And their two opponent teams in this match went to a 10-minute time limit draw in the last episode of Showdown. Feck and No Hope will be taking on AJ Styles and Finn Balor and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. Three-way tag team title match. Oof. Winner of this match, of course, has to defend those titles at Ramble Mania against the winners of the Vince Russo Memorial Tag Team Tournament Classic, Bo Wiz Lesnar and Mark Morgan, the Elites. I don't know where this the Full Gear match ranks on the list of Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher matches, but I do know this. I don't think it was as good as their one in the Continental Classic, because that one was just like incredible. Could be. I think it's definitely better than the one they had on Wrestle Dream. This one was better than the Wrestle Dream one. And no matter what, by virtue of being a Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher match, it was great. Simple as. Mark Briscoe finally won the TNT Championship from Kyle Fletcher. He hit a Razor's Edge through the barbed wire table and then a J Driller at the finish of the match. They did something very impressive in this match, by the way. Kyle Fletcher hit a brainbuster in the center of the ring with an unbroken table right behind him, and the crowd still thought that could have been the finish. Because sometimes the crowd sees an unbroken table and they don't care about anything because they're like, the match can't end until the table breaks. They got the crowd so much, this match was so good, they thought Kyle Fletcher was about to win the brainbuster with a unbroken table right behind him. So that's actually very impressive. I know, not a lot of the crowd, I know the table could be broken after the match, but most of the time the crowd does not think that. They think, match can't end, table's not broken. The most dangerous thing in this match to me it was not the screwdriver. Well, there's a part of the match where Kyle takes the screwdriver and he sticks it up from inside, so it's sticking up out of the turnbuckle, and acts like he's about to do a top rope brainbuster onto the screwdriver to Mark Briscoe. That obviously didn't happen. Briscoe. That was not the scariest part. The scariest part was Mark Briscoe sets up a pretty tall ladder, and he jumps off of it into an elbow drop on top of Kyle through a table. And like not like a normal elbow drop. Like a standing elbow. It was crazy. It looked really dangerous, but they pulled it off. Nothing bad happened. In the slow-mo replay, you can tell like just one thing went wrong. Like Mark could have tweaked his leg or his foot, like coming down on the table, the way everything collided and the way he landed. Risky business in my estimation, but they did it. It was good, and Mark Briscoe won the TNT Championship. So very happy. Although I don't think I would have put the two of the three blood matches back to back like that. I don't know if I would have done that. It actually made the next two matches have like a hard time getting the crowd. But they both matches did by the end. Actually, the next match got the crowd quicker into it because it was the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, so obviously it's going to be a good match. It was Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega against the Bucks and Josh Alexander. Not too much to say here. There was a bad Fosbury flop where Nick hit the mat. Like, Luchasaurus wasn't in the right spot, or he made the jump too quick, or couldn't tell whose fault it was, or both men's miscommunication. But that did not look like a fun landing for Nick Jackson. It wasn't even near the end of the match, though, so I guess he was okay. He could keep going for long afterwards. He didn't get hurt too bad. You know, they're doing the usual tension with Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks not wanting to join the Don Kyle's family, or, you know, not committing to joining the deal. They do end up winning the match. They pin Jungle Boy against not out of nowhere, but not on a spot you would think it would have been. There were a lot of near falls near the end, but that didn't feel like one of them. So they pin him, they get the money, and then Don Kyle's family gets to beat up Kenny and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks look deep inside their little Young Buck hearts, and they go and they help their friend. So the Elite are back together again. I'm split on it because I hate how often they do this. Bucks and Kenny get back together. How often the Bucks go back and forth between heel and face. And I also don't think the Bucks are as good at being faces as they are at being heels. So there's good and bad in this situation. And I guess all that matters is how the story plays out. So can't complain yet. After this was the women's world title match, which had a rough go at the beginning. It was a very slow match. They did the thing where they tried to act like Fistlane was actually hurt her arm. Mercedes worked on it for a long time, way longer than they should have done. They should have called an audible when they heard the crowd wasn't super into that. But this match went like 20-something minutes. They had the crowd for the last like 17 minutes. Not 17, I'm sorry. Last like 7 minutes were like great, like really, really good. But the match went 23 minutes, I'm looking at now. So having a really good 17 minutes after that super slow first 16 minutes. I don't know, man. I think it was probably the worst of the three Statlander and Monet matches. Which it feels, you know, not very nice to say because the last 7 minutes were so good. But I think the first one was the best one. I think they wanted to do something different this time, which is why they did the arm thing, and it didn't entirely work. Statlander finally gets her win. Monet's, and I swear, they better go with this as the official storyline. Monet hasn't been affected too much by it. It needs to become clearer now. Made very clear on TV by her and the segment and the commentators have to say that she wins all these titles, but she can't win the big one. That has to be the thing, is that it's driving her crazy, that she can't win the big one. I have to make that clear. Otherwise, it's just my headcanon. Make it clear. After this was Samoa Joe, Hangman Page. Very good match. Very strange ending that actually... I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried at the end of this match. Joe came out with his goons. He has goons now, like no-name goons, like Dark Order. I don't know how much I like that. I feel like Shibata and Hobbs and Hook are enough. Hangman came out to American Venom from Red Dead Redemption 2, which, like I said, I was like, oh no, is he actually losing this match? As soon as I heard that. Well, first thing when I heard it was, oh, that's awesome. And then I realized it was American Venom. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Mr. Cowboy, oh no. I forgot to mention in the, what's it called match? The Casino Gauntlet match. I forgot to mention Matt Menard was in it. Daddy Magic was in it. Who had a fun spot where he beat the piss at Danny Garcia, ran him off, and I don't think we saw either of them after that one. He ran him off backstage until the end of the match. I don't think they ever came back. Okay, didn't miss anyone. But Joe and Hangman was good. It was bloody. It was well wrestled. It wasn't that long. It only went 16 minutes. Probably about the time it should have went. But this is a big but. I don't. The whole point of the build was that Hangman took out Shibata and he took out Hobbs, so they weren't going to be there. And that was like an important part of the match, is that they were there, and they're like what helped Joe win. It was very strange, in my opinion. It's not how I would have done it. It didn't make too much sense in my opinion. So, what happens towards the end, Shibata comes in, he climbs the thing.
Here are your winners.
He starts climbing the cage, Eddie Kingston pulls him down and runs him off. Then after that, what happens after that? Oh, Hobbs shows up. He pulls the lock off the cage, which was awesome. I like that. I don't like that they showed up, though. I'll be honest. They probably shouldn't have showed up. The Ops. Or his Dark Order goons. But whatever. Hobbs opens the cage. Hangman takes him out. And because the cage door is open, it actually allows Hangman to be able to do the buckshot, which normally you can't do in a steel cage match. That was a big part of his match with Swerve, is that you can't do it. His buckshot, his move. But thanks to that, he could do it. I think he tried to pin Joe right after it, but it was broken up by Hobbs. I think after that, Hangman kicks Hobbs in the balls and takes him out. Oh! I think he does that first, and then he hits the buckshot on Joe. But the referee is down. He was wiped out, like a minute before that. Referee's down. In comes Hook. Hook is saying, "Ref, get up, ref." And then he turns. He's still with Joe. He wipes Hangman out with the belt, drops him on the ground. Joe hits the muscle buster on the belt. Hook helps the ref get up, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Now, I like Hook being on the Ops. It makes sense why he tapped out so quick in those last two matches, because it was always part of the plan. Still in the Ops, tapping out for Joe. What I don't like is, I don't know. I felt like it wasn't time to do this. Like it just wasn't time. I feel like we should have had Hangman versus Bobby Lashley. I don't know when Jay White's getting back, but I feel like we should have had Hangman versus Jay White. I'm okay with Joe winning the title, but I'm also kind of not. Like it feels like the way things are built, and you can't put the world title on everyone. That like so much hinges on Ospreay coming back and beating Moxley for the title almost. And if it's not going to be that, he's going to beat Moxley to get his title shot. Okay, that's fine. But you've also put so much stock into MJF with his contract. So what does that mean? Does that mean MJF is going to come back as a face to get his revenge on Samoa Joe? And cash in on Joe and win it? I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. Does it mean whoever beats Joe is going to be champion very shortly and then MJF is going to cash in his thing? I just don't know what they're doing. And I don't know about doing this so soon after the... Like, we already have the Death Riders as a heel group. We already have the Don Callis family as a big heel group. Now we have the Ops as a big heel group. With goons, like the Dark Order. We need 3 big heel groups. I'm just not sure about it. I guess I shouldn't judge it too quickly. I just, I saw it and I was like, if I would have done that. It's a good match, but I don't know if I like where it's going to go. I don't know if I like quick title change. I guess it wasn't quick. It was... By modern standards, it was not quick. But, I just don't know if I like it. I feel like we had some more to do with Hangman. I think there should have been a Jay White match, unless he's, like, going to be out for a while. And I really do think World's End probably should have been Bobby and Hangman. But it is what it is.
Introducing the challenger from Venice Beach, California.
This show should have been Bobby and Hangman, and then World's End, Joe wins the title.
Pounds, the icon, Steve.
I don't know. Not my company. Not my body, not my choice.
Introducing the champion.
Here we go, Venom Championship
Weighing
on the
in
line.
at 285
The
pounds,
last match
he is
for the tag team
Raw
titles went 8
Fighting
minutes and 19
Champion.
seconds. Thank you,
The
Tom.
Superstar.
I guess that's the full gear review from me. Very good show. Went too long. A lot of news, actually. A lot of title changes. And a lot of title changes and a surprising retention for Statlander. I was very worried they were gonna belt Monet and like ruin the whole thing. Or her gimmick is she came with a big one. Because she should be a whiny baby heel that came with a big one and it sends her crazy. And then it starts her downfall to lose everything. In my opinion. Not my company. Not my monkeys, not my circus still. Although I do like monkeys. Cover here, kick out by Stinger. Current champion, Bray Wyatt, won his title back at the Lamentation Chamber from vacancy after Fiddle Star vacated the title. Spit in the face of the Summer Taker. Since then, The Fiend has defended that championship against Big Bill back at Shagathon. Of course, Big Bill versus Bray Wyatt was the finals of the original Venom Championship tournament. But tonight, he's one-on-one with Sting. Sting earned this opportunity by virtue of his win-loss record, combined with beating Cody Rhodes. It would have been Cody Rhodes or Sting, whoever won, got this match, and Sting got the W, and here he is. Old Stinger. Stinger could go into Ramble Mania as the Venom champion. The winner of this match will defend the championship in a 3-way against Austin Dynamite and Jason Youngblood. Of course, those two men tied at the end of a reverse battle royale. That also back at Shagathon. So yeah, we know the challenges for the Venom Championship are Youngblood and Austin Dynamite. We know for the Roar Championship it is Kenny Omega. And tonight, the main event is the Revolver match. Winner of that will be going for the Universal Championship. And we already know who the Universal Champion is going to be. It's going to be Jimmy Uso, because he retained tonight. Jimmy Uso retained his championship against Randy Orton at Shagathon. Just like Bray Wyatt, he also won his championship in the Elimination Chamber. Former champ Randy Orton. The Universal Champ. Former Venom Champ was Fidel vacated it to match and break Summer Takeover records with his titles. World titles and mid-card titles, if you want to call them. There you go. Rolls him over. Scorpion Deathlock very close to the ropes. Not a hardcore match. This is not a AEW, not a pay-per-view match. It's hardcore. It's choke, by the way. Before I got roasted and toasted. Before I get ghosted, roasted, and toasted. Before I get pooped on. Oh jeez. Darby Allin at ringside. And Darby Allin's insane. He took some bumps. He was doing some things in the match with Pac I thought were insane. Like, Pac was all over his burns. He was throwing him around to the outside. Darby took a crazy bump getting thrown into the corner. The post. He like ran into the corner, through the ropes, hit the post, and then the floor. Wild. You gotta love Dards. Big Darby. Darby Allin, of course, a fan of Stacker too. Sting just staring at the Fiend. Bray Wyatt. This is his third reign as Venom Champion. First time he's been champ as the Fiend, the Friend. Cover here after the suplex. Took out by Stinger. Sting, he was in that Shagathon Reverse Battle Royale, unable to get the win in that one. We've seen him in King of the Ring tournaments here in RUW before. Cover here. No. And he's pinned Cody Rhodes. Off the ropes comes Wyatt. Jeez, the strength of Sting to throw the excessive mass of Bray Wyatt up in the air like that with minimal effort. The strike takes Bray down again. Back elbows from Bray. Bray now flips him around. Beautiful back suplex. On the Stinger. Throwing the old man around like a sack of potatoes. Into the Sister Abigail. The Switchblade. The Switchblade. And it's enough to get the job done. Looking at my timekeeper right now. Venom Championship match. Bray Wyatt defends in 6 minutes against poor Stinger. Come on, Stinger. And 2 is the Fiend. His Venom title.
Champion, the Superstar.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I think I'll commit to doing the rest of this.
Contest
And here they come, FUS.
On the way to the ring,
Tyler Flight and Dean Stevens. Dean Stevens, of course, showed up in the last stream.
Stevens and Tyler Flynn.
Sky Sports Live? What is that? I don't know what that is. Dude, sometimes YouTube recommends me like some absolute insanity, and I have no idea why. I think my channel is like compromised with some kind of bots or something. Because sometimes it just watches random like Indian
And their
videos.
opponents, first, from Virginia, weighing in at 228 pounds, Adam Page.
Huh. Like how? Like I'm looking through my history right now. It says I have watch time on something that's members only, but it says I haven't paid to watch it, but it says I've watched it. It's just very interesting. It just puts this in my history. I find it sketchy. There he is, the winner of the Royal Rumble. Kenneth Omega, who now has reunited with his friends.
And his partner,
Oof.
from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 224 pounds, Kenny Omega.
Boggle. I watched that Yakuza match the other day, maybe a week ago. Like a Dragon Street Fight or whatever it was. The Jericho, Kenny, Ibushi, and Paul White for some reason. It's so awesome. Took on Fletcher, Takeshita, Brian Cage, and Hobbs. Back when Hobbs was with the Don Callis family, very shortly. There's our win-loss records. That's specifically in tag team matches, by the way, those records. Dean Stevens probably the highest because he was, along with Lance Uppercut, RWF Tag Team Champs. Hangman Page, former AEW World Champion, in there. Starting things off with Dean Stevens, former champion of DCW. DCW's World Heavyweight Champion, won by Devin Black, you saw earlier in the chat. Big kick to the back. Dean Stevens in his Jonathan Joestar gear. This jumping kick takes down Hangman. A newer combination of members. This is usually it's Dean Stevens with Lance. Not Dean Stevens teaming with Tyler Flight to take on Hangman and Kenny. Of course, Kenny will be taking on Lance Uppercut of FUS at Ramblemania if Lance can defeat. Oh, the stream is bugged. What's wrong with the stream? Uh-oh. 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 Oh no. Oh no. Let's see what's happening here. Oh no. The stream. The stream. Let's see what I can do. This is on YouTube's end, it looks like. Huh. What is happening? Oh yeah, it is YouTube's end. It is definitely YouTube's end. Because I checked the stream. Oh no. Maybe this might be why I stopped streaming, honestly. I don't think it likes my Elgato, is what it is. Let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna click some things. Clicky, clicky. Live. Play. Live. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Go to live. No, yeah, it's toasted. Okay, I guess it's just gonna be part 1 of Fistlane. And I guess I will stream part 2 at some other point. Which is awesome. Very awesome. It's a... Oh my goodness, it's so far behind. The stream is fine. Huh. Okay. Well, thanks for coming. People that came. Love you all. I don't know why it's doing this. I guess I'll have to do another Fistlane stream for the second half of the show. But... I love you all. Hello. Okay, it's working. I love you all. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye. See you on the next stream. Woo-woo-woo.